that are organizing now. They're beginning to organize, which is very disturbing when you think about it, because as they organize, they're going to consolidate into something I'm afraid will be huge. This could be big. Right now, in an area of Northwest Caribbean and the Southern Gulf, everybody's watching close, although you haven't heard anything about it on your local meteorologist or even national meteorologist. The tropical storm could form in the Northwest Caribbean or Southern Gulf of Mexico about the middle of next week, but details on its potential intensity, track, and timing remain uncertain. Enters along the entire U.S. Gulf Coast should continue to monitor the situation closely and stay updated on how the forecast unfolds in the days ahead. Now, here's what happens. The National Hurricane Center has outlined an area in the Western Caribbean and Southern Gulf of Mexico for the possible formation of a tropical depression or storm. And at this time, there's no system to track in this region because it hasn't formed. But believe me, there is some storms, a lot of them, that are in the process of forming. So this broad area of low pressure called the Central American gyre, a central, let's make sure I said that right. Did I say that right?
Central American gyre.
Yeah, Central American gyre is expected to form over Central America early in the week, giving rise to increasingly stormy weather. We could then see a major uptick in the thunderstorm activity over Central America and Western Caribbean over the last couple of days, which is the first step toward this gyre forming. Guys, I want you to listen to, here's BP Earthwatch. And again, I'm going to recommend you go to his YouTube channel, BP Earthwatch, and watch his video on this information because it is extraordinarily excellently put together report.
September 21st, 2024. Guys, not a lot of changes in our hurricane tracking, except this cone is widened out. And that's telling us, if you look at the center, it's right through here, but this is really a cone of uncertainty. It's not the size of the storm, remember. It is where it could go, anywhere from this side to this side. Looks like it's going to go pretty much in the center of this. You got a new system out here that has a 30% chance of development. It's a little further south than these two that are really going to be taken up into the North Atlantic. So we'll keep an eye on this one as it gets closer to us. Right now, this thing is becoming very large, very strong. It's going from a 50 to 60% chance this morning of development. And they're saying this broad area of low pressure is likely to form by the early to middle part of next week over the western or northwestern Caribbean Sea and the adjacent portions of Central America. Thereafter, gradual development of the system is possible, and a tropical depression could form as the system moves slowly to the north or northwest over the northwestern Caribbean Sea and across the Mexico through the end of next week. Regardless of development, the system is expected to produce heavy rains over portions of Central America during the next few days.
Yeah, and you can watch the entire video, and he'll break it down for you and show you some of the satellite imaging of that. The storms are, you can see on this little diagram here, you can see the storms. They are developing right down there in the Caribbean, and it's headed toward, you can see the cone, headed toward the Yucatan Peninsula, or it's going to shoot right in between Cuba and the Yucatan Peninsula. Either way, it's going to wind up in the Gulf of Mexico. And when it does, there's a massive low pressure system there, which will be, and the water in the Gulf of Mexico is very warm, deep